Hello, hello, hello there, my crafty buds. It's your crafty bud Peggy, and welcome to Stormy's Imagination Station. Guys, I got you down here on the table. I needed to make a couple of these altered CD cases that I showed y'all with the hidden little mini album in it, and I thought that I would just bring you guys along and show you what we do so that you can make one for yourself if you'd like, okay? So, guys, first of all, this project is brought to you by Mini Scrapbooks. I'm not affiliated. Guys, what you're going to need for this is a CD case. One of the first things you're going to need, okay? A CD case. I'm talking one of the vintage ones, guys, that are thick like this. The ones that they make nowadays are uber thin. You can't use those, okay? So you're going to need one of the vintage ones, okay? If you've got some little scratches and stuff on it, don't worry about it. Just give it a good cleaning, okay? And that just kind of adds to the ambiance on it, all right? I think it'll be just fine. Also, you guys are going to need one piece of double-sided decorative scrapbook paper, guys. What you want to put on your front and your back, okay? The first piece you're going to need is 5 1/4 by 4 3/4. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut those, guys. For mine, well, let me give you the list real quick and then we'll start, okay? You need one piece, like I said, of double-sided scrapbook paper that you're going to use for the front and back, measuring 5 1/4 by 4 3/4. You're also going to need another piece of that same scrapbook paper, 5 by 4 3/4, okay? You're going to need 2 pieces of scrapbook paper for your photo mats on the inside. This right here. See, you'll mat a piece on the front that you can add for a picture and in the back there as well, okay? Both of those pieces are going to measure 4 1/2 by 4 1/2, guys. Then you're going to need 2 pieces of solid double-sided cardstock measuring 4 by 12. You're going to need 2 of those. You're going to need one more piece measuring 4 by 8. You're also going to need, I generally use about 6, I call them shims, I guess hinges, for covering up where you are going to splice the paper together. So whatever kind of decorative piece that you want to use for your trim, if you want to cut extra out of your cardstock to match it, which I highly recommend, these are going to be cut at 1 by 4. You're going to need 6 of those, okay? So let's go ahead and get started, guys, on that. You're also going to need some glue. You're going to need something that dries clear, like glossy accents. I myself am using E6000, but you want something that dries clear, okay? You're also going to need embellishments. You're going to want to put some flowers. I would get some different ones and just kind of lay them out where you can go through them. Maybe some metal pieces, some lace if you have any, or pretty trim that you would like to use. If you would like to use some bling, get the bling out. You're also going to need some chalk if you have any, or distress ink, whatever you like to use on your edges if you so choose. You're also going to need, if you have some, I recommend some of this beaded trim, okay, for the edge piece right here. So you see, you can see that in there. And what I like to do is add a piece of this trim hanging off the edge, which we'll do, and I'll decorate this with you and show you what I mean to kind of cover that up. Okay, and that's pretty much the list, guys. Now let's begin. The first thing I'm going to do is choose my decorative paper that I want to use on the front and back, which I'm going with Gypsy, guys, my craft consortium. This is one of my favorite paper pads outside of Heartfelt Creations. I mean, I've got 3 that I love as Heartfelt Creations, of course. I love my Gypsy here by Craft Consortium. I am in love with this pad. And then, of course, Graphic 45 comes right behind there for me. You know, that's my order of my paper. And this is one of my favorites. So I'm just going to pick me out something that I want to use for my front and back cover. And I've done used some of this rose on one. I'm going to pop that in while we're drying with the glue. I think I'm going to use some of this. I love this. I think that's really pretty right there with that pearlesque. But use what you have, guys. Go through yours real quick. Excuse me. And see what you have. Now our first piece, 5 1/4 by 4 3/4. So we're going to go 5 1/4. Right there we go. By 4 3/4. Then we're going to cut another one, 5 by 4 3/4. Alrighty, and that's your front and back inside of your CD case, which I'll show you how to get that prepared here in just a minute. I just busted out here and started cutting paper, so let's cut paper. Our 2 mats. Now then decide what you're going to put as your mats on the inside. I don't know, something that coordinates with that there on mine. You know what? I think I'm just going to use the back side of the same paper here and do that. And both of these are cut at 4 1/2, guys. You need 2 of them. 4 1/2 by 4 1/2 square. Okay. Now, guys, I would have said you need a scoreboard and a cutting tool, but a lot of folks don't have that, so you can still cut down your measurements and stuff and do your scoring without one. So I'm not going to go crazy about that. If you have a scoreboard and stuff, that's fine and well, but if you don't, you know, I'm just giving the measurements out there. Okay, guys, now then our solid cardstock. I really like this. I've got one more sheet of it left. I think I'm going to go ahead and use that. I love this burgundy paper. Really pretty paper. I love it. We're going to need 2 pieces measuring 4 by 12. Pretty easy peasy there with the 12-inch piece of paper. And then you're going to need one at 4 by 8. And that will leave you a little square, which you could use. You could pop that in here. I would say you don't want to go too thick, though, guys, because you do got to add pictures in this if you want to. And we'll probably make us a little belly band, too. I also forgot, guys, we need a little piece of ribbon, just a thin piece of ribbon. I may even use a piece of this paper right here for a pull on our accordion fold. So just a thin piece of whatever kind of ribbon that you have. Now, guys, what I like to do with all my paper, I hit the edges. I like to distress, or in this case, I'm chalking. I'm using, this is Color Box Chalk Toppy is what I'm using. Goes good with just about anything. I just love this on my edges. And the chalk, it looks pearlesque as well. It's got a nice look to it. I really like it. Oh, my nose is running, you guys. Happy spring, huh? Are you guys fighting allergies too? I am too. It's about to kill me. Everybody around here sneezing and blowing and carrying on. I just like to hit my edges. A lot of this paper's not filled all the way through, and when you cut it, you get that white edge around it, and I myself, I don't like that. So I like to cover that up if I can. So, and I've got a lot of chalks and stuff I use. I always use Distress ink on my edges. It just finishes it out, you guys, it does. If you look at stuff, you can see the white edge, and it just, I don't know, it just makes it I don't know. I just don't like it myself. Okay. All right, there we go with that now, guys. Now then, if you have any extra pieces left over, like I said, of my cardstock here, I'm going to go ahead and cut down my hinges. And I want them to match. So, this is exactly a 4 inch that I've got here. So I'm going to cut me some 1 inches for hinges. And I'm cutting, I need about 6. The tutorial itself called for only 3, but I like to cover front and back, you know, because you can see the seam where you put them together, and I don't like that. And I don't like that. So we're going to cover it up. Okay. Alright, there's 4. I wonder if that's an inch. God, almost. Five and 6. 6 1x4s. Because I like to cover all that up, like I said. And then go ahead and hit them too with your distress inks and stuff if you're using it. You don't have to, you guys. It's just whatever you want to do. I cover my edges. I don't like that white. So I always hit it. Guys, if you don't have any distress inks, if you have any markers laying around, wonderful tutorial from my friend ZC Creations, Miss Marsha over there, tells us how to take and put alcohol and pull that middle piece out of your markers and cut that up where it'll fit down in your cup and let that soak for a while. You put a couple of them in there and get your color that you want, and bada bing, bada boom. Instant distress ink, huh? How you like that? Any color you want. Any old markers that you got that don't work no more, that's what she does. She pulls the inside of it out, cuts them up and puts it in alcohol, and honey, she gets beautiful distress ink. Miss Marsha's awesome. You guys, if you don't know ZC Creations, I'm going to tout her up real quick. I suggest you go over and check her out, because she shows you how to make good shimmer mist, make your own alcohol inks. Texture paste. I mean, she's into everything, guys. Okay, now then, let's get our box ready. Now, you've got your old CDs, and like I said, we're using the thicker one, guys. Just open it up, take your front graphics out. Don't throw these away. These little booklets right here, you can gesso those up and turn them into little mini albums. Okay? Take your tape out. Now, I'm not using this one. This is my Skid Row. This will be going back in. But you got this piece right here in there that holds the CD in there. Just simply go over here to the edge where it opens and gently pull this open and just pop that right on out. Okay? And then take your back graphic out, and there you go. You've got a beautiful CD case right there ready to go. And like I said, if they're old, you know, they might be dusty, turn a little yellow, whatever, hit them with some Windex and give them a good cleaning right there, okay? And that's all you're going to have to do. All right. Now then, guys, you got your papers all ready to go. Let's give these a dry fit real quick. One of these is bigger. It fits in the back part of this. You'll notice the back part's a little bit longer than the front. And this bigger piece should fit in there pretty good. Now give it a dry fitting. Like I said, and make sure that you fit good right in there, because I found with this you may have to cut just a little sliver off of this edge, which I do right here. I'm going to cut about 1/8 of an inch off of that right there. This is actually like 5 and so many eighths. That's, God, so tedious. I would rather just have you just snip that off. And then there you go. Okay. Now then, once you've got it dry fitted in there, I suggest not going over the whole thing with it. Okay, don't do that. Just hit your corners I just taken, and I'm using my E6000. Like I said, I need to be a spokesman for these guys. I use it for everything. And then just a little smidge in the center, okay? Nothing big. You see that? Just little droplets. That's all, not even a drop. And then if you've got the tabs, you know, you'll see them little curved tabs. Just simply popping them under there, and then pop this just a little bit like that, and then you can pop it right down in there. And then boom. And that way you don't have it all over the back of it. You know, it's just those little corners is all you need to hold that in there, okay? And then do the same thing for your front. Now my front's fitting very well right there. I really like how that looks. So let's just go on ahead with that. And again, just doop, 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 and a snoop right there in the center. Just a little bit, you guys. Of something, again, that will dry totally clear for you. I recommend E6000, glossy accents, something like that. You know, something that will dry completely clear. Oh, God, I could have cut a little sliver off of this on the inside here, too, couldn't I? Damn it. Oops. Alright, so I'm going to sliver this. You might need to sliver both of them. The fittings of these is like, you know, they're old CD cases. Some of them are a little bit bigger than the others. And there you go. That's what that looks like on the inside right there. And then you've got your front and back cover. Okay? Now we're going to put our mats inside. Now I've gone contrasting here with the same piece. That way I can flip it. And now I have this pretty rose on mine that I'm going to do. And just do the same thing, guys, on this. And just leave a little border around, okay? And I'm just going to hit, like I said, just a little bit. Zoom right there. That's all you need. Right there. And move it towards your outside a little bit. Because when you shut this, you're going to see a little edge of that right there. But in there's where we're sticking the beads. Okay? So, more towards the edge to give yourself a nice little border all the way around. You see that? About 1/8 of an inch. Okay, guys? And then bring it in toward the outside whenever you shut it. Get me? Like that. Okay? And then do your other mat. Just a little bit. Make sure you get your edges, you know, so it didn't pop up on you, but you don't have to go crazy. Alright, and get that dead center there, and again, try to leave a little border on both sides there. On all the sides, I mean, just kind of, there you go. And then we have our mats inside, see? And like I said, now you can see, whoops, let me get that totally level right there. You can see where I've left that little edge on the inside here, because like I said, when you shut it, you're going to get this groove right here. But like I said, we're going to fill that, so it's going to be totally gorgeous when it's done. But this is what you're left with right now, okay? Now then, guys, now we're going to want to score these at every 4 inches, okay? The long way. Every 4 inches. You're going to get 3 4-inch squares here. Just score it. Don't go all the way through. Just so that you can fold them, okay? And then you can go ahead and break that paper just a little bit and go ahead and give that a nice little fold there, okay? Now, if you guys don't have a scoreboard, that's fine. Just get you a butter knife and use a ruler and go your 4 inches right there and lightly with your butter knife, zoom. Okay, and then fold it over. That's all you gotta do. That's what I do anyways. I mean, you could use the ruler, whatever you want to do. I holler for the butter knife every time. Just give me a butter knife. That's a good scoring tool right there. And there you go. Now then, give these guys a nice little fold. Now then, with your hinges, alrighty then. If yours have not disappeared like mine has, they've landed all on the floor back here. I was like, seriously? This happens to me all the time. Alright guys, these we're just going to simply fold them in half. That's all you got to do with these. You really don't have to score these. Just give them a good folding in half right there, okay? And those are our hinges to put these all together. And you can do these different styles inside here. You just don't want to get them real thick and bulky, like I said. And then just fold these. And there we have it. Alright, now then guys, you can decide, which I should have said that before we glued this back one down. If you can grab that real quick, if it hasn't already adhered down, dadgummit. This is what I'm doing to mine. This one here, instead of adhering it all the way down, you can take and just lay this across here for yet another mat and just start it like that. But I don't want to do that. Of course not. I want to be different. I'm going to take my hinge, get me some good glue on here. Glue this here. And just glue it all the way across that bottom there. Just like that, okay? And then get some on this bottom here. If you want to do it like this, get you some on this bottom here and then adhere that down. And then put this piece over the top of it. Leave your little edge and then bring this right up under it. Get your hinge up underneath that right there. And then glue this to that. Like this. There we go. And these are a little thicker, so give them a good little rub there and get it glued down real good. Depend on what glue you use. If you use a quick drying glue, you won't have no problem. It takes me a minute for my E6000. But make sure you got that level and save yourself a little border there. But pop your little hinge up just like that. Put one underneath that paper there. Okay, the bottom of that hinge is right there. And then go ahead and glue this to the back of one of your accordion folds there, okay? Okay, alrighty. And then see, then this way you've got it to where you can still use this back one back here for a picture too. And then you have your accordion starting there. See what I mean? But that way whenever you pull it out, you can still use this back here for yet another picture. Or you can hinge the extra piece. If you've saved an extra piece, you could do a double flip right here. You know, you could start it with this little 8-inch piece instead and put your hinge here. You know, to where you had like a little booklet right here, and then you could start it. You know, you got an extra page right there. It's kind of up to you how you want to do that. But I like it like this. So we're just going to start it out like that. Now then I'm going to glue the next piece to it. Same thing. Just take your next 12-inch by 4-inch piece. Get one side of the hinge glued on. And just glue the other side of your hinge to this piece. Okay. And then when that opens, that'll be like that. Now we're going to put another hinge down inside of here. Okay, where them two meet right there. Okay. That's what I was talking about. They don't cover both. They just cover one side of it, and you can see that crack, and I don't like that. I don't like that. So here we go. And there we go. And I should have my, there we go. See, and then I've got that covered in there. See, and that looks better to me. I don't like that hinge, that crack seam showing right there. So we'll go ahead and Let that set for just 1 second there. And then guys, with your last piece here, you can kind of do that too if you'd like. If you want to add it again, just glue you another hinge on there and simply add it. The end one, I kind of like to fold it in half and do it like this. And I'll show you. Just hit another one of your hinges with a good amount of glue right there. Put one end on the end here. And the other one with your 8-inch piece folded. And there you go. And then add that. Okay. And then I'll show you on the one that I've got already dried, because this E6000 needs to dry before I can do the next steps. So I'm just going to put this one here and show you guys one that I've already got this far. Okay. Now then, see how I did that on the end there, guys? And I just did the same thing, and where the hinge meets on the other side there, I just covered that. But I left it to where it's like a booklet on the end. But you've got a nice pull out right here. Look at that nice pull out. That's quite a bit, isn't it, guys? You get quite a bit, and then I like the little booklet on the end there. So that's what this all looks like right here, guys. Now, we're going to want to cut... It didn't tell me on there, huh? I found a flub of their thing here already. I'm surprised I didn't catch that. Neither. I didn't catch that. That stinks. Alright, now then we're going to need one more piece, guys. We're going to need another... Let's see what we got here. We're going to need a 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 piece. I want to go 3 3/4. Let's see what that looks like real quick though. Sorry about that, gang. I should have caught that. I get to this far and I'm like, uh-oh. Okay, let's see. Let's see what 3 3/4 looks like. By 3 3/4. Let's see if that's big enough for me. Oh yeah, I like that, and that leaves a little bit of a mat all the way around. 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, gang, for your front right here of your pull-out. So let me hit that again with my Distress Inks. And then we will glue that down. Now, it doesn't recommend mats on all of them, guys, because again, like I said, you want to keep this as thin as possible so that you can get your pictures in there. But it's enough on this front. You can get by with a pretty decoration on this front right here. So we're just going to go with that, okay? And, dadgummit. And that's where I messed up again. You're going to want to cut you a piece of, basically about 1 inch of trim. And fold it in half, just like this. And pop that up underneath this paper before you get that glued down for your pull. So unorganized. So bad girl. Sorry about that, guys. Again. But there's your pull. And I just did mine out of the paper line there, so that's fine. And let that dry. And there you go. Did I get that? Oh my God, did I do mine backwards? I think I did it backwards. Oh my God. You know what? I don't care. It don't matter. It really don't. It's all about how you want to do it. Just like this. Yep, I did mine backwards, you guys. That gum for the front. But that's alright. You know what? It's fine. It's going just like that. Dang it. That's going to bug the crap out of me. You know I got to take that up from there. And watch me destroy this in the process. You guys will get to see a mess up. Well, that's good though. I'm just gonna leave it rip. Dang. Ain't that a witch right there? That's gonna suck, because now you can see that. Can I get that off of there? Dadgummit. Yeah, make sure you do that, guys. Get your front. Make sure you glue down your pull out to the back, not the front, like Dingbat here just did. Goodness. Well, easy enough fix. Just simply pop it down to the right side there. Pitiful, plumb pitiful. Now what'd you do at the pull again? Are you serious right now? This is going to be the funniest damn tutorial, you guys. I'm telling you, I have ruined this. I'm not lying to you. I was doing so good and just freaking ruined it just now. Dang it. Look, I lost my pull and everything. It vanished on me. No, it didn't. It disappeared up underneath the card. Okay, get some more glue on it now. Goodness gracious. Alright guys, so there's what not to do. Make sure you're gluing it down to the back of the CD, so when you open it up, you've got the pull out. You know, when you open it, here it is, like it's supposed to be. Dang that, gosh. There we go. Alright. There we go. No harm, no foul. Alright guys. Now then, that's it. And that's the inside of it, okay? And once you make one of these, guys, I mean, you're like a master. The way they explained it to me in their tutorial, I wasn't getting it. Excuse me. With the decorative paper and all this, because it said double-sided cardstock. Okay. You know, you want decorative on this. So once you make these, you know, you can kind of make them your own. Alright guys, so I hope that was easy enough to follow there. We did pretty good until I messed up my pull out right there. But anyways, that's it. And that's the little mini album down in there. And like I said, you can hide that hinge doing it the way that we did this one right here. Please tell me I did that one right. Yes. And there you go. And then we've got us our nice little pull out right here. So again, we're going to need a piece that's 3/4 by 3/4. 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 for this this front right here of the pull out. And don't forget the little ribbon pull. Okay, and I'll go ahead and glue that down real fast on this one. And the ribbon pull, I just stood there and said that. This paper here on this paper line is sensational. It's double-sided and it's pearlesque, so it's almost as strong as ribbon, so I'm using it. I really went nuts with this Gypsy pad. Both of these ended up with some of the Gypsy in it, which is fine with me because I love this paper pad right here. Just love it. We should do a what's your favorite paper pad, you guys? What's y'all's favorite paper? My favorite is Heartfelt Creations. And there's too many of the line to go into. Butterfly Medley, of course, y'all know it's one of my favorites. If y'all have not checked out my Butterfly Medley album, I highly suggest that one. I think I did a really good job on that book. And that'll give you a lot of ideas on what I did in that. Alright guys, now then, here we go. Now whenever you open up your beautiful CD, look what you got now. And again, once this dries, you'll be able to use your pull, but here you go. However you decided to do your flips and pull out on this, you can kind of mess around with it, like I said. Just try not to make it real thick and bulky, like I said, because you've got to put pictures on this. If you want to put pictures. Now, if you don't, you could put cutouts, favorite things you like out of magazines or something like that in here. And then you could do more if you wanted to. Then you could just remember to leave them, 12 inches long, 4 inches wide, or however long you want them, but 4 inches wide. And you can just add as much as you want if you're not adding pictures, like I said. All right, guys, now then, your little CD case should look like this. And like I said, whenever you open her up, you've got your little pull out right there, and we're basically done with that inside in there now. It's all about what we're going to do to the outside of it, guys. The first thing I'm going to do is put my tassel. So what I want to do is fold my ribbon back to where it's not in this back part here at all. Okay, you want to keep that. You see that down in here? We want to make sure your ribbon isn't down in there. Now, guys, if you have beaded trim, if you don't, I can do this myself. I haven't made none of my hand strung in a long time, but Miss Marlene over there at Mars from Michigan has a wonderful tutorial showing you guys how to make your own beaded trim, okay? And I highly recommend that. This stuff can get costly. Alright, guys, now all you're going to do to this is measure it out to where your beads are laying good here, and then cut it off. You want it to fit down inside that trough right there. You don't want to go from side to side right there, because you got to open these up. You will go right down inside of it, okay? And then run you a bead of some good glue, guys. Don't use Elmer's to hold this, because you're putting it on plastic, and it'll just come right out on you. I highly recommend, again, E6000. This stuff holds everything. And honey, it takes all night to dry, yes, but the next morning, it ain't coming out. You're going to have to destroy it. So, alright, and then take your bone folder or something and pop that down in there. I kind of stretch it out in between my fingers, and then I hit it with whatever I'm using and try to get it down in there flat. And make sure your beads don't pop up in there. It's a pain in the rear at first. It is, I'm not going to lie. Getting it stuck in there, but it's so worth it. And try not to use real short beads. You want to have some kind of dangle, because it will go down inside there. Unless you want to. I mean, you could fill it with beads. Hell, you could shake out some seed beads down in here. Whatever you want to do, really. Me, I'm partial to this beaded trim. But yeah, you could put whatever you wanted to. Glitter. Some of you guys, if you ain't got beads and stuff, think about your glitter. If you got any glitter, run you some glue down there and glitter the pee out of it. And let it dry, and that'll be scrumptious when that dries. Really pretty. But there we go. And then let that dry. Like I said, really let that dry.